Everyone, what is going on? We made it. Finally, the countdown is over. We're at One Piece chapter 1000. And I am here to give you my review and my analysis on everything that happened in this amazing chapter of One Piece. So without any further ado, let's just get straight into it. So obviously we have that amazing rest of the page of the color spread. It looks super good. You got the rest of Luffy's face, the rest of the crew on there, and it looks great. And then you also have the other side of the weekly jump spread, and it has all those other characters of One Piece. Shirahoshi's in it, Smoker's in it. But let's just cut through that and get to the chapter. This chapter 1000 of One Piece, is perfectly titled Straw Hat Luffy. So on the 5th floor, Luffy walks up and realizes that all the enemies are taken out and that the Mink tribe had done that for him to create a pathway leading up to Kaido and Big Mom on the roof. The amazing part of this chapter is I don't know if they are tired or if they're kneeling to him, but it really looks like that the Musketeers are kneeling to Luffy, bowing down. It's really funny because Luffy comes up to Sicilian and calls him Shishimamushi, and Luffy says to him that he still hasn't forgotten the moment when they protected Raizo with their lives. And then Luffy runs on, leaving Sicilian there crying. And the reason I like that so much is because it just shows how much emotion is put into this war, how many years they waited for this, how many lives they've risked just for this moment, just to take down Kaido, to free Wano. On the next page is probably one of my favorite pages of this whole chapter, and that is because we see Marco, King, and Queen going at it. We see King and Queen trying to stop Marco from getting to the roof, but what we also notice as well, and it's kind of weird, but in this first little panel of that page, we have Queen with his neck extending really far, but it looks mechanical and robotic. So I'm really curious to find out what exactly Queen is, because it seems to me he has some robotic, obviously we know he's like a tinkerer and he likes to work on weapons or work on stuff like that. And so maybe he somehow found a way to upgrade his body. Maybe he's a cyborg just like Frankie, who knows? But you also have Queen saying, damn it, what kind of power is this? Is he invincible or what? As both Queen and King are trying to take out Marco, but it's not affecting them. And you see Marco grabbing both King and Queen in their necks. And I don't know what kind of attack that is, but it looks cool, like he's holding them both off at the same time. But while he's doing that, Marco also sends Zoro flying to the roof, and Zoro is screaming, "Whoa, you could have warned me at least," which I love that moment because Zoro's going through the roof, he's getting to the top, and Marco's staying behind to fight King and Queen so that Zoro can go on and fight Kaido. The scene then shifts again to Momo and Yamato, and Yamato is having a conversation with Momonosuke, and it's a little confusing. I'm going to make another video when the official comes out. I'm just going to read this scan one and just get this one out because it's so hype, it's so amazing, it's chapter 1000, but I'm going to release a couple videos on this chapter. And so I don't know if all of these translations are correct, but I'm just going to tell you this is what some of the stuff says when Yamato's talking to Ace. It's kind of a little confusing, so we'll just have to wait and see for the official. But for right now, this is what is being said. So the first thing is Momo's questioning D. That's father's logbook. So my assumption obviously is they're talking about the will of D and Odin's logbook, clearly. Yamato mentions that she would have never thought she was going to meet Momo at all, and that she found Odin's book near the river of Odin's castle. She also mentioned that somebody within the burning castle had protected the journal. So I really wonder who that is. I think that might be a significant part of the story as well. Maybe not for the overall battle and the overall idea of Wano, but I think it is significant and a little part that's going to be talked about at the end of the arc. She mentions to Momo that she'll be giving the book back to Momo and that it belongs to him, which brings tears to his eyes because that's a great gift for Momo from his father. I really think part of the reason why it's such a great gift is because obviously he lost his father, but he gets to see words written in the story told by his father of what had happened. And there's no better gift you can get than something like that. And especially going through a time like right now where it's Christmas, a lot of people have lost their family members and stuff like that. I have lost a family member, and luckily I was able to receive a very special gift from my grandpa who just passed away, and I will keep that gift forever. And it's honestly, this part right here is just hitting a different way, especially if you have a recent loss. So it's pretty amazing to see this put into the story. As Yamato and Momo have a conversation about being born on Whitebeard's ship and Roger's ship, Yamato also mentions it is said that after 20 years have passed within the New World, a group of young and powerful pirates will arrive. But those bubbles are on the panels of Law and Kid and Killer as they are making their way to the roof. Yamato mentions that that time has come. She also says that she thought Ace would be one of them, and then starts remembering a flashback. Ace mentions one of Luffy's dreams that you don't really hear, but he immediately tells Yamato to forget what he said and that she needs to not make fun of it, and that Sabo and him will never forgive her if she makes fun of him. Ace mentions that the first time that they heard that, they laughed a lot, but now they will never let anyone laugh at his dream because they believe in him. Yamato starts freaking out and says, "Never. I would never make fun of him." The king of the pirates also said the same thing. Yamato also mentioned that those words amazed Odin. She said in his journal, there's a certain big figure that also said the same thing, and that she's not going to make fun of Luffy. Ace said that he would love to meet that figure, and that he would love to have a drink with Luffy and him, but then Yamato mentions that that figure is already dead. And then it's revealed that Yamato made Ace his Viva card and gave it to him. She explains to him what the Viva card is and what it does, and then the flashback ends as she says, "We'll meet again, right, Ace?" With Ace saying, "Of course." Back in the present, she tells Shinobu and Momonosuke that Ace's Viva card vanished, obviously after he died. She also mentions that the fact that Ace was Roger's son and that his little brother was making a name for himself as a pirate, the same pirate you have brought here, Luffy. Odin describes the future like so. While she's mentioning that, it's showing Luffy running up the stairs, obviously making his way on top of the roof to come in front of what's on the next panel, that is Big Mom and Kaido standing against Trafalgar D, Water Law, Captain Eustace Kid, Killer, and Roanoa Zoro. This is an amazing panel, and I just love seeing the dynamic between the two sides stand there. All the big names, all the strongest who are there, are at the top, ready to fight. And then I'm not sure who says this part. I think it's Luffy, but it says, "You guys, once again, you came to watch me fight, huh?" And I can't tell if it's Luffy or Kid saying that. But then we see Kaido say, "Straw Hat." And then Big Mom says, "All I want is his head." And then we have that huge big panel with Kid, Killer, Luffy, Zoro, and Law all standing there. And Law is just sitting there looking super cool. They all look like they're about to attack. It looks amazing. It's an amazing panel. I love it. And then it has Yamato's words saying, "In about 20 years is the next generation of powerful pirates that will lead the new era. They will arrive to the new world, and if I were to die, they will be the ones capable of taking down Kaido." And you see Big Mom and Kaido just standing there menacing, facing off with the new generation. Now this next part is probably one of the most hype parts of the whole thing. It's very subtle, but when you really think about what he does, this is huge. I don't think there's very many other characters who would do what Luffy does right here. But you see Luffy starting to walk towards Kaido and Big Mom. Kaido says, "Lin, guess what this kid said to my face?" And then Big Mom is laughing and she says, "He's just a runt. He had the same haughty attitude when he faced me as well. He destroyed my castle. You owe me an apology, Straw Hat." And when Kaido and Big Mom said that, it was a close-up on their faces. But then when it zooms out, you see Luffy walked right past them, right in between them, and didn't do anything. Big Mom and Kaido didn't attack him, and Luffy didn't do anything to them. And I think that is huge because they are two of the most threatening pirates in the whole world, and Luffy does not care and walks right past them to get to none other than Kinemon and the 9 red scabbards. But before that, you see Zoro looking at Luffy with 3 dots as he's thinking something. Then you see Kaido yell, "Hey kid, I dare you to say it one more time. What do you want to become?" And then Luffy kneels down and tells Kinemon and asks Kinemon if he's doing okay and sorry for being late. Kinemon then coughs up some blood, and it's not looking good for the scabbards. You then see all the scabbards passed out, laying down, very wounded, very hurt. They're all unconscious and not doing well at all. And then you have the most sad line of the whole chapter, where Kinemon says, "We regret in the afterlife, Lord Odin. We wouldn't dare show our faces to him after this." He is crying because they got defeated by Kaido and they weren't able to avenge their master, Kozuki Odin. That is a gut-wrenching moment, and Luffy has a great response to that. Kinemon says, "I beg of you, please save Wano." And with that plea and cry, Luffy says, "Of course I will. It's my friend's country." And then you see Kinemon cry even more. But then looming behind Luffy and Kinemon is a hulking Kaido about to smash down his club on Luffy and Kinemon. Kinemon's crying, saying, "Luffy dono." And then Luffy turns towards Law and tells him to move them down. With a flip of his finger, Law sends all the scabbards down, and Luffy jumps in the air to dodge Kaido's attack. And then Luffy says, "Gear 3rd, Gomu Gomu no." And then there's a pause with a montage of amazing things that have happened in this series, all the way back from Zou until now. We have the amazing moment where Inu and Neku are revealing to the Straw Hats, Kinemon, Kanjuro, and Momo that Raizo is alive. And then we also have a little panel of Neko saying, "And so we are now your allies." Then it flashes over to another moment in the series where Momo is crying, saying, "I want to defeat Kaido." And then it shows Kinemon saying, 20 years ago in Wano, we were able to travel forward in time." And then it shows the moment where Yasui is hanging on the cross, and it says, "Ibisu's gesture is gone to the afterlife," where he is hanging dead, lifeless on the cross. We also see Old Man Hyo, and he was saying, "They were alive all this time. The sparks of rebellion are still ... And then the very last moment it shows that we remembered from earlier is Kinemon saying, "Our beloved Lord Odin was brought to the Flower Capital and executed as criminal." With all that built up emotion, with all that pent up rage, we see Luffy bring down a huge fist connecting right with Kaido's face. Then on the very next page, we get Luffy finishing his attack name, Red Rock, as he connects fully with Kaido's face, smashing him into the ground. The next little panel is Big Mom with her eyes wide open, super surprised that Kaido just got hit, saying, "Kaido, what are you playing at? You let him drop you to the ground just like that?" And then you see Kaido's face looking up. It looks a little bloodied. I'm not 100% sure if he is, but I'm pretty sure Luffy just did some major damage onto Kaido. And then Big Mom with a huge surprised look on her face with her eyes wide open, while Luffy in silhouette is saying, "I am Monkey D. Luffy. I will surpass you." And then it has this big close-up on Luffy's face, and it finishes off the chapter saying, "And I will become the king of the pirates." Now, if that wasn't one of the most hyped chapters you have ever read this year, I don't know what is. We finally have the climax and build up to where Luffy is facing off, not against one Yonko, but against two Yonko. And I have a big theory here, and I don't know if a lot of people like it. Big Mom, I believe that yes, she might come to the next arc, but I can also see these 5 supernova. We have Kid, Killer, Law, Luffy, and Zoro. 5 supernova facing off against 2 Yonko. And I could really see them taking both Yonko out and gaining such high status that their bounties go up super high and they become kind of the new rulers of the sea, the new generation, like they said. So I really can see them taking out both Yonko here. Luffy made an amazing hit on Kaido that damaged him. It did not kill him. It did not take him out completely. It didn't do anything like that, but it damaged him. So I think now Luffy is ready to take Kaido on. And I think it's going to be an amazing fight, an amazing battle. I cannot wait to see what Zoro, Luffy, Kid, Killer, Law, what they're all about to do to those Yonko, and what is going to happen in the conclusion of Wano. But this chapter, One Piece chapter 1000, was incredible. It was amazing. We had Marco, we had Luffy, Law, Kid, Zoro, Yamato. We had everything. We had Ace. It was so good. I am so pumped. I cannot wait to see what happens in the coming chapters. This is just the beginning of the climax of the war. I cannot wait to see what happens next. But thank you all so much for watching this video. Thank you for tuning in. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. I really want to grow this channel. I'm going to be creating more content weekly. I'm going to be releasing a video next week about mysteries still left in Wano, what we still need to figure out in Wano, and that will be coming out next week. And then I have a bunch of other videos planned, so keep a lookout for that. Keep coming in and checking out my videos. Get those views up. Let's subscribe. Let's get this channel going. Thank you all so much. Remember to be kind to others. See ya.